going to give the money.
We're going to forgive debt.
Well, we're okay. We're arguing about the same thing, but there was no argument. We're giving the money away. Okay, so I just want to read you this. And again, this is against why people sometimes, I think, question some of what you're saying. This is a survey, student loan forgiveness recipients. 73% of applicants say they are likely to spend their extra money on non-essential, including vacations, smartphone, drugs, and alcohol. They admitted that to the pollster.
Who is this pollster?
NBC News.
What's going on, everyone? It's Talks Getting here today. We'll be kind of giving my commentary on Bernie Sanders on student loan forgiveness. He's going to be talking on Real Time with Bill Maher. Hopefully my stuff don't get copyrighted, but if it does, I'll probably it's just going to see me here talking. If not, we'll be cutting in between the videos and seeing what's going on. So let's get into the video. But before I get into the video, guys, please check out my locals channel. I have a locals link in the description below where you get the first 1,000 people to click on my link will get the first month free. On the locals channel, I'm giving you guys exclusive behind the scenes content, more personal access to me, and it gives me a space to be more open with you guys on that platform. It really would have helped support me, and I believe I can provide a lot of value, but just give me a chance in the 1 month free trial. I digress. Let's get into the video.
I know you were advocating at the Supreme Court, I think it was last week, right? Because, or maybe it was this week, that the Supreme Court is looking at Biden's giveaway to people who own debt.
Giveaway is your term, not my term.
Well, they have college debt. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to give them money.
And sorry, guys, I'm already cutting into it, but he's already messing up because he's saying, oh, giveaway is your term. Bro, what's up with these Democrats? Or I don't think it's just Democrats, but I just think I don't get people that they try to like challenge interpretations. If it's not called this, okay, what is it called then? And I think Bill Maher could have pushed back a little bit more on this, but it is a giveaway essentially. Because at the end of the day, majority of people don't go to college. Right? The government don't make money. The government's not a corporation. No, it don't generate its own wealth. The government takes wealth from its citizens, from the taxpayer. All right. So that is a giveaway. So the majority of people who are paying taxes on a brown of probabilities didn't go to college. So it is a giveaway.
We're going to forgive debt.
Well, we're arguing about the same thing, but there was no argument. We're giving the money away.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to read you this. And again, this is against why people sometimes, I think, question some of what you're saying. This is a survey, student loan forgiveness recipients. 73% of applicants say they are likely to spend their extra money on non-essential, including vacations, smartphone, drugs, and alcohol. They admitted that to the pollster.
Who is this pollster?
NBC News. 52%.
Yeah, you can't say, oh, it was Fox News. No, you can't say that. It's crazy when the facts come out, bro. Like, everyone knows, like, people who got into student loan debt, they made a bad decision. They were financially illiterate and they got themselves into trouble. That's the reality. Look.
How dare you?
Y'all the minority. The college kids, only people in favor are people who have student loan debt. College kids. That's it. People who directly benefit from this. No one on the outside who paid off their loan, who didn't go into school, who didn't get into debt like me. Right? Who worked full time through college so he can come out debt free. People like me, we don't want to pay for your ish. Like, don't no one can come to me and act like, because I'm 26 years old. No one can sit here and act like, oh, it's impossible to graduate college without a student loan debt. Nope. No, I made sacrifice. I went to a junior college. I went to community college. I did the responsible route. People did the fun route. Oh, let me go out of state. Let me go to out of state as far away from my parents. Let me not go to an in-state college where it's 5 times cheaper for me. I want to go to an out-of-state college because I want to be away from my parents. I want to go party. I want to do all this nonsense.
They are very likely to buy new clothing. 46% they would use the money for vacation and eat out at restaurants.
Anyone surprised?
This is why people have a thing about, I would never call it free money. Oh, I guess I just did. But
well, I mean, let me respond to that in 2 ways, Bill. I'm talking about giveaways.
It is a giveaway. Let's go.
Under Trump, the Congress voted for $1 trillion in tax breaks for the richest people in this country and the largest corporations. That's a giveaway. We just
Okay, as a capitalist, I'll try to be as fair as I can be. Okay. How is it a giveaway for the government to let you keep more of the money that you generate? The government didn't help you create none of the wealth. So if I made $1 million a year, the government said, "Hey, instead of taking 20, we're only gonna take 10." Where did the money come from? It came from me. The $1 million, the wealth was generated from my activities, not the government. So what giveaway is the government doing? This is this narrative. This is why I think a lot of socialists do not understand the system of capitalism. They just see all the cons of capitalism. They want to highlight and focus on that, but they don't look at none of the pros. Because end of the day, regardless of what system you want, you in favor of, capitalism, socialism, they all got trade-offs. That's one thing I know. That's what life is. There's no perfect solutions. There's no utopia. If you think there's a utopia, bro, I got a bridge to sell you. There's trade-offs with whatever decision you decide to go. I believe, hey, capitalism has less trade-offs than socialism. The cons of socialism is too much for me to be a socialist. I'd rather be a capitalist. I'd rather be self-reliant. I'd rather be in charge of myself. He called, hey, the government not demanding more of your money a giveaway. Imagine that. You make $100K a year. The government asks you for about what, 22%? And the government said, hey, I see you're doing a lot of things. I see you're generating a lot of jobs for us. You're bringing more taxpayers to my state, aka more tax funds for my state. I'm gonna let you keep 10% of more of your money. He calls that a giveaway. Come on, guys. Like, I think politicians should have like a mandatory, like it should be mandatory in their trainings or in their briefings when they're getting voted in to understand economics, because this issue is crazy. This is some crazy issue he just said to me. What? There's a reason why capitalism reduces poverty across the world when it's implemented compared to socialism. Because with socialism, central planning, look at all the intricacies that I just splayed out just for the fact that the government allowed the corporation to keep more of their money. Look at the cascading effect. It incentivizes the corporation to bring more people into a district. And if more people come to that district, that equals more tax dollars for the state. It's a net benefit for the state to lower taxes. This is why if you look at any presidential candidate, if you look at a Republican presidential term versus a Democrat presidential terms, you always realize that the Republican has more tax revenue compared to the Democrat because of what I just explained right there. Because there's a thing concept called diminishing returns, right? Because a lot of socialists are going to come in my comment section saying, hey, at one point, the tax rate for corporations was 90%. And you see what that got them. What happened? Oh, it's unfair. We can't get none of the tax. Because the corporation was like, yo, we don't want to do anything. That's why part of they extended the Great Depression. I'm just saying. Because they saw that 90% tax rate and they see they're like, no, what's the point of investing more of our money? What's the point of spending our money? What's the point of realizing our gains if we're going to lose 90% of what we earn? Yo, that's a bad deal. But then you see other, like when the Republicans cut taxes, you see they got more tax revenues because the corporations felt, okay, this is a little bit more fair. I'm willing to contribute because I get a benefit out of it. It's a two-way street. But politicians don't sit here. They don't understand human behavior. And this is what Thomas Sowell makes a great argument about. This is what Thomas Sowell talks about. You live in the world of reality. The reality is when you create a rule, hey, I'm going to tax you 50% if you make $100K a year, but I only tax you 20% if you make under $100K a year. What a human will do. Think about it. We're not robots. What a human will do. I won't make $100K then. And every human does that in scale equals less tax revenue for the government. There you see? Policies. And this is what I want. I want Americans to have more understanding of this stuff. At least an understanding of, hey, what's the counter arguments to these things? So I'm better informed about my decisions or better what I can advocate for and what I'm actually advocating for. Because I don't want America to be victims of political ignorance anymore. If shit happens, I cursed, whatever. If stuff happens in this country, it's because our eyes open, volunteered, or voted it in. Because I don't want to hear anyone saying, oh, I didn't know Jordan Biden's laptop. Bruh. If I knew about it, I wouldn't have voted for him. No, you should have already done the research before then. But hey, man, I'm rambling, man. Let's get back into the video.
Increased military spending with very little discussion. I don't know if you know this, by $80 billion. Military industrial complex.
Including the Democrats.
Pardon me?
The Democrats vote for it too?
Yeah, he's
Yes,
independent. He does.
absolutely
Yeah,
correct. Absolutely right.
He's gonna call it out.
Right.
But that's socialism, the military. That's crony socialism.
Well, that's
Right.
So the same liberals who complain about, oh, we're supporting the military industrial complex, they're the most war hawks of all history. Bruh. All you have to do is compare the Obama's administration to Donald Trump's administration. Who has less wars? Trump was signing peace treaties, but at the end of the day, I don't believe in being defenseless. Strong but peaceful. But if you have no capabilities of going to war, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to be taken over by a nation that is. Bruh.
crony capitalism.
But the military isn't capitalism. That's the government.
No, but it's who owns the military industrial complexes. All right, but anyhow,
Right.
All right. So when you talk about giveaways, you have major corporations in this country that make billions in profit, don't pay a nickel in taxes. Billionaires have an effective tax rate lower than that of a truck driver or a nurse. You have a generation, you talk about this younger generation right now. I got around the country and I talked to a lot of people. You know, I don't know anything about that poll, but I can tell you, I've talked to nurses who are working their asses off, doing the right thing. They leave school $70,000 in that. They can't afford now to get married and have children.
But who's the source? And this is I pointed out before. I already kind of hinted at it. The government got involved in the student loan business, right? It used to be private banks vested directly to private banks lended out the loans to students, and then that's how they were able to get their student loans. But then Obama came in and was like, nah, we don't need to do that. Take out the banks as a middleman. Come directly to us, and us, the federal government, will guarantee the loan. Bruh. If you took an economics class, you understand what is wrong with that sentence I just said. Guaranteed loans. That means colleges went back and said, wait, so no matter how much I charge for tuition, the government will guarantee the loan? Oh, free money. It's a blank check. And bruh, voila, look what we have here. Tuition still goes up. Tuition jumped, what, 3 times, almost 300, 400, 500 times the rate of income increases. Bruh. Because the government pretty much made a blank check. Oh, you can make it $1 million tuition. We'll guarantee it. But guess what? The government makes it liable on you, loaner. This is why, and I thank God every day that I had my school teacher woke us up to this stuff, and he said, "Hey, look, be careful what you do. Hey, I recommend community college because look at this. This could be you if you don't think carefully about what you're getting yourself into." Bruh. He gave me an option to make an informed decision, so I know what are the trade-offs, what I'm getting myself into with the student loan game, right? And these schools, these public schools, whatever, they try to herd you into college. High school don't teach you nothing but, hey, you got to go to college. That's it. That's what you learn in high school. Everything you need to know so you can go to college. Bruh. And I think this is why I think the education system needs to change. But at the end of the day, the government, like, this always happens with statists. Now I'm taking a libertarian view on things. This is what happens with statists. They get involved in something. They make the problem worse. Then they come in and say, hey, I know I made the problem worse, but I can fix it. Bruh. And this is how people get swindled. And the reason why the younger generation, my generation and Gen Z, we think socialism is as popular as capitalist is because we don't realize the decisions in the past. This is why they don't teach you nothing about history. Because if you don't know you don't know your history, you doomed to repeat it, right? Government got involved in student loan in the college business. It skyrocketed the tuition. Then that same government saying, hey, we're going to forgive all the loans. You don't think a negative consequence is going to arise from the government getting involved with student loan forgiveness? There's a reason why it's not forgivable, because it's a guaranteed loan. And the government don't got no money to, forgive it on your behalf. They have to take it from the taxpayer. That's why you can't declare bankruptcy on it. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't money loan, like it wasn't the government's money to loan in the first place. The taxpayer will have to pay it back. That's why the states keep pushing this student loan forgiveness thing. And you already see it with stimulus check. You already saw it with the stimulus check. We got what? I don't know. I forgot how much money people got for a stimulus check. But you already saw now inflation is killing us. Bruh. Imagine getting student loan forgiveness. Oh my God, bro. I can't even imagine. But I swear I'm going to get through the video, guys.
They can't afford the housing that they desperately need. So the truth is, you got a generation that, everything being equal, the younger generation will have a lower standard of living than their parents. You and I, and I'm a little older than you, can remember 50 years ago, what did it cost to go to the University of California? Remember?
$50.
Yeah.
500.
Virtually free. City University of New York.
Right.
Virtually free.
And this is the argument I want a socialist to hear. What was different between their college? Look at the college, look at the environment in that time span, and look at our environment now. The government wasn't so involved in the college tuition then than it is now. Because if let's say I had my way, free market capitalism, states get out of the free market, college you're privatized. No government can come interact with you and subsidize your subpar education system. So you're going to try to charge a kid with no money, like most kids don't have 50 grand. College will become an institution only for the rich. Bruh. Unless the colleges bring down their prices, because obviously the market won't pay that much for a college education by itself, unaided by the government. So the tuition can stay up high all it wants, but then eventually it has to come down, or else the college risks going out of business. That's economics. But when the government come in, the government, as a third-party observer, the government don't take any of it don't get the benefits, but it takes none of the cost either. It doesn't take a penalty for being wrong. So if it's giving money out and the student takes a loan, 100K, whatever, pays student, he pays the college, he gets his 4-year degree, but he can't find no job. The government's not affected by that. The government's like, hey, you need to pay back. You need to start paying your loans back. Bruh. The government don't suffer no penalty. The government suffers no penalty for being wrong, and that is my issue. And this is why college tuition is not reasonable compared to where it was in their time, because the government was less involved. Actually, the government wasn't involved at all. But y'all don't see that problem. Y'all just see the symptoms of the problem. Y'all don't see where that problem originally rooted from, right? You look back in the past, and the current generation is like, oh, this is a good thing. Yes, college is all right. College is a right that all Americans should have. And then in the future generations, they take the consequences, because the current generation, it always happens. When states get involved, the current generation benefit, but the future generations suffer from that same policy. Bruh. But I digress.
And now, these young people are leaving school deeply in debt. They're struggling economically. They deserve a break.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Nah. Y'all don't deserve a break, because y'all put yourself in those positions. Sorry, it sounds tough, but that's the reality. You made the decision to take out the loan. You are liable to pay it off. Don't expect no bailout from other people, especially with other people's money. But you want a majority of Americans to pay, who didn't go to college, who paid off their loans, to pay for your negligence. Bruh. How that's fair? What benefit does those Americans get? Nothing. Nope. They get nothing at all. But you sitting here, woo, it's a good thing. Woo. He's calling out the problems that's happening in America. I just don't agree with the solutions that he's prescribing, because I think the solutions may give some immediate relief, but in the long term, it hurts the country and future generations even worse, right? Bruh. Bernie Sanders, maybe his intent is in the right place. Sure, I'll give him that. He sees the problems. Yes, he does. But the solution, I think, will cause more problems in the long term than actually will help in the short term. That is my argument against what student loan forgiveness is, Bernie Sanders is, socialism in general. But hey, I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And please check out my locals. The link's in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.